Hello everyone. Today we'll be solving the problem Mahmoud and a message, right? So this was asked in the Codeforces round 396, right? So I can just go through the question. It's very easy to understand. Let me summarize the question so that it will be easier for us to solve the problem, right? So just give me a second, 1 second. Yeah. So what the question states here, we have a string s here, right? So we have a string s here, which is of length n, which is of length n, right? So we have some strings. Within the strings, it can contain any number of characters, right? So we have a string s of length n and limits a of 26, right? So and what is the limits? A of 26. So I'll just write here lim, which is equivalent to a of 26, means 26 letters, any of the 26 letters in the array, right? So this is fine. A limits 26 where a of I says in any single substring letter I may disappear only if the substring length is less than or equal to a of I, right? So this is very important. They are saying what they are saying here, we have a string s, this is fine, of length n, and limits a of 26 also where a of I says, individual a of I says in a single substring letter I may disappear only if the substring length is less than or equal to a of I. So this is very important, right? Only if the substring length is less than or equal to a of I might disappear, right? So this part, just remember this one. This is important for further solving the problem, basically, right? So let's go with the split part here. We have to split S into consecutive non-empty substrings. So every substring respects all its letters limits, right? So we are splitting the S into, we have to basically split S into consecutive non-empty substring. So every substring respects all its letters limits, right? So what we're gonna do first, we have to ask first, number of valid splits, nothing but mod 1e9 plus 7 they have given, 1 into 10 to the power of 9 plus 7 they have given in the question, and maximum substring length that appears in any valid split. This is the second one, and the third one is minimum number of the substrings, right? So basically we need to split S into consecutive non-empty substring, so every substring respects all its letter limits, right? So that's what we need to do. Splitting part is very important. Basic, all we need to do here is we have to split S into consecutive non-empty substrings, means substring empty, this one empty thing is also a substring, that we know that, right? So every substring respects all its letter limits, right? So consecutive non-empty substring, consecutive word is also very important, just keep this in mind. So we have to ask number of valid splits, nothing but mod 1 into 10 to the power of 9 plus 7 or 10 to the power of 9 plus 7. This one maximum substring length that appears in any valid split, and third one is minimum number of substrings, right? So two splits are different if the cut positions differ. Two splits are different if the cut positions differ. Just keep this in mind. Right. So now I hope the question part is completely clear, man. I hope the question part is completely clear. Let me delete this part. So let me come to the input output part here. Let me explain this input output part. So this is nothing but the n they have given in the question, right? So I have said n first initially. So if you remember, so I said we have a string s of length n, right? So n is nothing but the length of the string. S, even here string they have given clearly, you can clearly see here, right? This is nothing but the S, basically AAB, right? So A of A is 2. They have strictly mentioned here in the question. A of A is 2 and this one is A of B basically, right? So this one is A of B is 3, right? So A of B is 3. So this one they have mentioned 24 times basically once, right? So this is fine. So the output that we need to get here is 322. We are not discussing any approach. This is just the this one. I just want to explain the input output part, what it contains and what we are solving. That we need to know for the approach, right? So we are just solving the problem. We are not giving any contest or neither we are in a hurry, right? So let's discuss one by one, step by step, clearly, right? So this one, I hope this part is completely clear, man. This is n, and this part is, this is nothing but the string s, and this one A of A twice 2 they have given, right? Here 2 3 1 24 times they have given, right? So that one A of A is 2 and A of B is 3, right? So we have to get the output 3 2 and 2 respectively. Same goes with the example 2 as well. I'll just leave it to you, this one. I'll just leave it to you. You can understand in the same way that I said for the example one, right? So this is fine. Now, as we are familiar with the question and the approach, let's do one thing. I mean, question and the input output part, let's do one thing. Let's discuss the approach followed by the complexities, and then let's write the code. As usual, first let's discuss the approach part. So I have considered same first example that they have given in the question 3, double AB and 2, 3, 124 times they have given here. This is fine. The output that we need to get here is 322. We know this one. So let's move on with the step-by-step explanation. Here, first thing I want to mention here is this one. We'll be going with a dynamic programming approach, right? So we'll be going with a dynamic programming approach. Just keep this in mind, right? So this is fine. Now, let's move on with the second part here. So here, so first what we will do, iterated value of the DP is nothing but the number of valid ways to split the prefix, right? So here DP of I we will be going, first we'll be considering the iteration, then we have to go with the DP of I, right? So DP of I, iterated value of the DP here is nothing but the number of valid ways to split the prefix, nothing but S of 1 to I. I have correctly mentioned here, right? So this is fine. Now let um, cut off I. So accordingly with the question, cut off I is nothing but the minimum cuts for the prefix I. This one, minimum cuts for the prefix I, right? So for each and I, we have to expand and start j backwards and keep, right? So this one we will be seeing this one when we write the code. You'll understand this one clearly, right? So we will be going with this basically, minimum allow equals minimum min of min allow comma a of s of j, right? This part you'll be understanding when we are writing the code, or when we write the code basically, right? So let's move on with the further things for now. So here, if current length I minus j plus 1 is greater than min allow, then we have to stop accordingly with the code. So if current length I minus j plus 1 is greater than min allow, this variable we have considered here, right? This one, min, basically in short, min value basically, right? So if current length I minus j plus 1 is greater than min or min allow, we have to stop at that point, right? So let's see the uh, number of iterations, right? So here we have been given a b in the input, right? So this is the important part. You can just uh, if you didn't understand the theoretical part, you'll understand it now. So whatever we discuss, so here now I we have been given one substring ending at one, substring ending at one, right? So we have been given 24 ones basically, substring ending at one. A of a, we have been given I think 2, right? So a of a we have been given 2, and a of b we have been given 3. So we can write it in this way. Sorry, just give me a second here. 1 second. Just 1 second. Yeah, this one I can just write it in this way. A of A equals this one 2, and A of B equals this one. We have been given 3, right? So then substrings they have given 24 ones. That is fine. A of 1. So see a substring ending at 1, thing but A here. This one, right? So valid length 1, valid, this is valid basically, right? So this is valid, so length 1 is greater than or equal to 2. Yes, it is this, sorry, lesser than or equal to 2. Yes, it is less, right? 1 is less than 2 basically, right? So dp of 1 we will be considering as 1. Cut, we will be considering this one, cut of 1 also 1 initially, and max length will remain same, that is also 1, because substring initially we are considering substring ending at 1, that is nothing but the a, right? So a of a we have been given 2, and a of b we have been given 3, right? So this is fine. Cut, dp as well as the max length, these three keywords, this remains same 1. So because this substring ending at 1 we are considering, nothing but a we are considering, right? So length 1 is less than or equal to 2. Yes, this 2 we are considering here, right? So first we are considering 1, right? So then we will try a again, right? So this will be dp of 2 equals dp of 2 plus dp of 1, right? So dp of 2 equals dp of 2 plus dp of 1. So we don't have the dp of 2 yet, so we'll be considering 0. 0 plus 1 will lead to 1, right? So 0 plus 1 will lead to 1. Again we will try a, again we will try a. So this time j equals 1, valid will be this one. This will we'll check whether 2 less than or equal to 2. Yes, 2 is equivalent to 2, right? So we'll be going with dp of 2 equals dp of 2 plus dp of 0, right? So here this time we will be going with 2 plus 0, that will lead to 2. This one I'm speaking of. dp of 2 is 2. When we try for 2, so we have tried for 1 already. This time we are going with a 2, so we have 2 here, right? So we will be going with 2 plus 0. dp of 0 is nothing but we'll be considering 0. 2 plus 0 will lead us to output 2. So cutoff 2 remains 1, and maximum length we got this one. A again we are considering double A, right? So this time maximum length we are incrementing this one to the 2, right? So as we are going with double A, so maximum length we are incrementing, and this will be 2. This is fine. Now let's go with when I equals 3. We will be trying B. Basically we have tried 2A's, right? So now let's try B. We have one more character, that is B. A of B. So this one I represented again. So this one will be 2. A of B I represented in this way. This one is 3, right? So here we will be trying B, and J equals 3. Here A of B 3 I have considered. So we will try AB first, and j equals 2 because 1a we are considering here. So j equals 2. So here length 2 less than or equal to min of a of a equals, we have 2 now. This is where we have 2, right? So a of b we have 3. So here in this case 2 equivalent to this one, dp of 3 plus dp of 1, right? So dp of 3 equals dp of 3 plus dp of 1. So dp of 1 is nothing but we know here, this one, dp of 1 is nothing but 1, value 1, right? So here we have dp of 1 equals value 1, right? So just give me a second here. So yeah, 1, this one we got this one min of 2, and this one. So basically both we got 2. So here min we got here is 2, right? So dp of 3 will be 2. 2 plus dp of 1 we have already found out, nothing but 1 here. In this case 2 plus 1 is 3, right? So this will lead to 2 plus 1 nothing but 3, right? So this is fine. Now we have already considered this one. What do we call a double A and B? So A B we have considered. We tried with A B. Now let's try with AAB, right? So this is invalid because this one we have the value 2. Basically we will check with 3, right? So we will check with 3. A of A we have been given 2, so we will check with 2. Basically 3 greater than 2. Yes, 3 is greater than 2. 3 has to be, basically this side it has to be less than whatever integer we consider here. This has to be less than this one, 2, basically, right? So now 3 is greater than 2, right? So 3 is greater than 2, so this is invalid. We will stop here. We will stop here, right? So this is invalid. We will stop here. So final ways we have here is this one, dp of 3, dp of 1, dp of 2, and dp of 3 calculation. I showed basically when I equals 1, when I equals 2, and when I equals 3, right? So 1 we got for dp of 1, dp of 2 we got 2, I guess, right? So yeah, max length we got 2, dp of 2 also we have 2, basically. Now yeah, this one we got 3 for this one, right? dp of 3 we got 3, basically. So final ways we have got here is 3. First we have to return the output in this way, nothing but final ways, longest as well as the minimum parts. Final ways we have got is 3, and the longest we got here is 2 in this step. Maximum length longest we have got here is 2, uh, and minimum parts we have here as 3, sorry, 2. Minimum parts we have here is 2 as well, right? So double A B, right? So this one will be 3, 2, and 2 respectively, right? So 3, 2, and 2 respectively, right? Final base is 3, longest is 2, minimum parts is 2, right? So the output that we got here is 322, so which is equivalent to the output that they have given for the this one, example 1 within the question, right? Example 1 within the question, basically this output I'm speaking of 322 for the input, this one, right? So the output that we got here is 322, which is equivalent to the output that they have mentioned for the example 1 within the question, right? So output I mean our approach works absolutely correct in this case. As we are completely familiar with the approach, let's move on with the complexities part, right? So what will be the time complexity here? The time complexity would be big of n square. So why it will be big of n square? Basically, each I scans the backward j until the constraint breaks, right? So we know this one. So updates are uh, big of 1 basically. So overall time complexity would lead to big of n square, right? And what would be the space complexity here? The space complexity, we will be making use of the arrays, or we have made use of the arrays, this one dp array and the cut of size n plus 1. Also we are going with this one a of 26, right? So that one overall space complexity would lead to big of n, right? Overall space complexity would lead to big of n. DP array cut of size n plus 1 plus array of 26 size 26, right? So this is fine, I guess. So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we'll be writing in the future would be big of n square and big of n respectively, this one, right? So as we are completely familiar with the complexities and the approach part, let's do one thing. Let's quickly write the code. Let's start writing the code. So let's start writing the code. I'll just come to the compiler here. So let's do one thing. We'll be making use of the past input and the output. So I'll just import the input output package here. So I'll just go with Java io.star. And also we'll be making use of the different utilities. I'll just go with util.star. So this is fine. Now let me go with a class. So this will be public class. Let me go with main. You can just go with any class name. It doesn't matter. So that is relevant to the question basically, right? So let's go with a modulo for counting the number of ways. They have strictly mentioned 1e9 plus 7 in the question, right? So I'll just go with here static, uh, this one final int. So this one will be mod equals. So I'll just give here mm, we are going with 1e9 plus 7, right? So 8 zeros has to be there. 6 7 8. This is fine. uh, plus 7, yeah, this is fine, man. So this is just the module of a counting number of ways, right? So let me go with the main method. So I'll just go with main here. This is fine. I'll just go with throws exception as well, or else we'll be getting the error. So let me go with exception. So this is fine. Now within the main method, what shall we do? Let's go with the fast input and the output, right? So let me go with buffered reader for the fast input here. So this one will be br equals new buffered reader. So this one will be new input stream reader. So this is fine. This will be system dot in. This is also fine, man. So this one will be print writer pw. So or I'll just consider output part, right? So this will be relevant. So I'll just go with new print writer of system dot out. So next we have to read the length and first in the input they have given n, right? So that one we have to read, which is in the form of integer basically. This one will be integer dot parseInt here. So br dot read line. This is fine. Next what we will do, let's go with a character basically s string. We have to read the string, right? So I'll just go with a s here. So this one will be buffered reader dot read line, dot, let me go with to char array, right? So we have the string. So I'll just go with to char array. This is fine, simple, right? So this is fine. Next, so if you remember, we have the array of 26 letters, right? So maximum allowed substring length for letter C with this one. Lim of C is nothing but the we can consider new int of 26, right? So I can just write it on this way. Just give me a second here. I don't know whether we can write it in this way. I'll just go with int equals new int of 26. So this is fine. Next, let me do one thing. Let me make use of the string tokenizer here. This one will be new string tokenizer of this one will be buffered reader dot read line. So this is fine. Yep. Next, we have to fill the limits. This is nothing but the limit of C is nothing but maximum allowed substring length. This one we have considered new int of 26, right? So it can be either of 26 letters. So this is fine. Now we know we have to fill all the limits. Now let's go with the iteration part for that. So this will be int I equals 0, I less than 26, and this will be I plus plus. So this is fine. This will be iterated value of the limits, that is equivalent to integer. So this is integer itself, right? So let me go with a %. So this one will be string tokenizer dot next token. So this will be next token. Yep, this is it. So we are done with almost input output part, right? So this is fine. Now let's get into the main logic part. So as I've said, we'll be going with a DP, right? So we'll be making use of the DP dynamic programming. So here first, we started from here itself in the approach basically. So DP of I is what I started with, right? In the approach. So DP of I is nothing but the number of valid splits for the prefix s of 0 to I minus 1. We discussed this one in the approach. So let me initialize this one int dp equals new int of, so this one will be n plus 1. This is fine. Now next I'll just go with cut. So this one will be new int of n plus 1. This is also fine. Uh, DP of I we went with, and cut off I also went with. DP of I have already discussed. I have already said that one. Cut off I is nothing but the minimum number of substrings to cover the prefix, right? So this now let's initialize the cuts with a large value, right? Large value in the sense this one invisible sentinel I'm speaking of, right? So I'll just go with here arrays dot fill. So this one, let me pass the cut here. This one will be n plus 1. This is fine. Next, what I'll do here is let me go with the empty prefix, nothing but exactly one way, no cut. So I'll just give here dp of 0. Let me initialize this one to 1. Next, cut off 0. So this one, let me initialize this one to 0. Simple. Yeah. So now let's do one thing. Let me initialize the max length to max length initially. Let we have to initialize max length to 1, right? So basically why we are initializing this one, so here basically maximum length keyword, it tracks the maximum valid substring length that is ever formed. We know this one from the approach part, right? So let's do one thing. Let's iterate over all the end positions. This is nothing but one index based or one based for the DP index, right? So just keep this, keep, yeah, just remember this, sorry. Right, so this is one based for the DP index, and S indices are from 0 to n minus 1. We know this. So let's iterate over all the end positions I first. So I'll just go with for int I equals 1, I less than or equal to n. So this one will be I plus plus. So let me go with int min allow. Let me assign this one to n. This is fine. Now let's try all the starts j for a substring ending at I. Nothing but we know from the this one approach that j goes backward to ensure this one. So as we have discussed time complexity, uh, uh, this one j goes backward to ensure pick of n to the power of 2 or n square, right? So now let's do one thing within the for loop. So we haven't written the for loop yet, right? So let's write the for loop first. So this goes backwards, or this one will be j equals 1, j greater than or equal to 1, and j minus minus. This is fine. Let's update the this one tightest allowed length among the letters syn in s of j minus 1 to I minus 1. So I'll just go with min allow here. Let me, we have to consider math dot min of, if you remember the approach, so this one will be min of this one, min allow, comma, this is nothing but the limit, right? So limit, as I have said earlier, this will be s of j minus 1 hyphen a hyphen a. This is fine. So we are done with this one. We are done with this one, right? So let me do one thing. Mm, let's do one thing. Yep. Let's go with the current length of the substring, right? Uh, it should not allow. It should not exceed the misallow accordingly with the approach, if you remember, right? So let's go with the current length of the substring first. Nothing but j to I, uh, which is equivalent to the I minus j plus one, right? So I'll just write the simple if condition. I minus j plus one is it shouldn't exceed the this one min allow. If it is greater than min allow, then we have to break out. So this we know this from the again approach, right? So this is fine. So next let's go with the count ways, right? Count ways in the sense we have to append the valid substring from j to I to every valid this one split of the prefix ending. So I'll just go with here iterated value of the dp that is equal to dp of I, this is fine, plus dp of this one will be j minus 1. So this is fine. Modulo mod, this is also fine. Yep. It's also fine. Let's go with the min cuts, man. Best is 1 we know, right? So we are going with the min cuts. Best is 1, nothing but the current part, plus min cuts for the prefix sum, prefix up to j minus 1, right? So this will be iterated value of the cuts. This is equal to math dot min here. So this one will be cut of I. This is fine, comma. Accordingly with the theoretical part, we have to go with j minus 1 plus 1, right? So this is fine. So finally, we are left with tracking the global maximum valid substring, right? So that's what we need to do basically. Let's track the or let's go with the step for tracking the global maximum valid substring length that is seen anywhere, right? So I'll just go with max length here. This one will be, yeah, max length. Let me assign this one to the math.max of, again, let me pass max length here. This will be I minus j plus 1. So this is fine. Now we are left with only input output part, right? First we have to go with the number of the valid splits, nothing but modulo 1 in 9 plus 7, right? So nothing but here we have to return dp of n, right? So I'll just go with out dot println of this one will be dp of n. Next step is second one, maximum substring length appearing in some valid split, right? So the last step we discussed in the approach, that one. So I'll just go with the out dot this one println. So this one will be max length, right? So this is fine. Next, we have to go with the minimum number of substrings, minimum steps. If you remember the approach, the last one, right? So final ways and the max length accordingly from the approach, and third one, this one, minimum steps, right? So these three things we have to display in the form of output. 3, 2, 2 we have got from the first one, first example when we consider, right? The same thing we are articulating in the form of code. We already did. We are just displaying the or we are just outputting the results basically. So second one was maximum substring length, nothing but max length in our case, right? So we have to pass the max length. We did that as well. The third one is minimum number of the substrings or the minimum steps, right? So minimum number of substrings across all valid splits. Nothing but here in this case, this will be cut off n. So I have to go with out. We have to output the result, right? Println. So this one will be cut off n. So this is fine. So actually, if you try to this one understand this one within the approach, it's easy. Basically, if you consider this one with the simple example, it will be easy. So somewhat tricky to write the code. These kind of questions, especially DP, right? Right. Uh, it is a headache basically. So this is nothing but the minimum number of substring across all the valid splits. Finally, what we need to do, we have to flush the output as we are making use of the buffer data and the print writer basically, right? So we can just go with out.close or out.flush, right? So I'll just go with flush here, right? Flush out.flush. So this is fine. We are almost done. Let me do one thing. I have misplaced the bracket, I think. So let me do one thing here. Let me copy this one and let me paste it over here, right? So yeah, after two braces I had to consider here. So I had considered after one bracket itself. So this is fine, man. Now before checking the code with different inputs, let me copy paste the signature starter template. So I'll just come here. Let me paste it over here. Let's concentrate on the this one. What do we call logical part? So I'll just come here to the question. So let me copy the input. Output we need to get here is 322, right? So that's what we discussed in the approach as well. I hope. Oh, there are many errors, man. 10 errors. Okay. So the string tokenizer, what error we have here? Class string tokenizer, line number 33, right? So 33. So yeah, what is the mistake here? So we are going with string tokenizer. This is fine. Int limit we have considered this one array. We have mentioned this one correctly. String tokenizer string equals new. Oh, this one has to be capital T. Okay, this is fine. This one has to be capital T as well. So that is the reason. Oh, we are getting there. So let me run this one. This error has to be gone. Yeah, we are left with 8 now. I haven't mentioned int here. Line number 47, man. Where is it? Error cannot find symbol. Variable j. Line number 47, right? So I'll just come to 47 here. Let me mention int here. So this is fine. I have mentioned right int. This is fine, man. Let me run this one. Yeah, now we are getting the output 0 to 4, right? So this is basically wrong, right? So 322 we have to get. So let's check here. This one, somewhere I have done the mistake. Let's check what we have done wrong actually. So what mistake I have done here is in the line number 47, I didn't mention the int first of all, and we have to start when I equals 1. So we have already written I equals 1, I less than or equal to 1. We have to start with I equals 1 means here j equals I basically, right? So this has to be j equals I. So I hope this is I. Yeah, now we are getting the correct output basically. This was the mistake 322, right? So we are getting the correct output. Let me copy this one. We have to get 40143, right? So let's check. So this gives us the output 40143, right? So we are getting the correct output for the example input they have given, right? So this is fine. Now let me come here. So I've already copied this one entire code, right? So let me come here. Let me go with C, right? This is C, problem C. Let me paste it over here and let me hit the submit button, man. So let's wait for some time. I hope this works for all the test cases, man. Let's see. So this problem basically, it's quite tricky to write the code actually, to be frank. Right? DP problems are always quite tricky and headache, but yeah, uh, you can clearly see here this one. It is showing accepted in the toast, right? So now we have we have the verdict accepted here. This is fine. We have made use of the DP, basically DP, right? So I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach and the complexities part, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.